Now, as Laurel mentioned, this is the second part of a series that we're calling A Seat at the Table. And I have to give credit to my wife, Jennifer, because it was Jennifer's idea that we want on a regular basis to bring opinion leaders from throughout the Commonwealth together to meet with members of our Marshfield Chamber, Situate Chamber, community leaders, so that we'd be able to have an engaged discussion about things that are most important to us and for our community. Today, the governor, we got the high five that the governor's about 5 minutes out. But I do want to make sure that with my comments, we'll let people know about one of the purposes of this meeting, and then if I could refer people to it, there's an agenda that we gave out. Part of the purpose for today is we want to make sure that the governor gets to see what makes our region unique when we're talking about job creation and economic development. I'm thrilled, and we're not going to take anyone's time so that you all can speak directly to the governor, but we're thrilled to underscore that last July, the governor personally came here to visit and to learn about the needs for our community, for this whole region, as far as economic development. When he comes, I'm going to retell a story about that for his visit. But part of the purpose today is a celebration that because of the governor's personal visit, thereafter he had his Secretary for Economic Affairs, Greg Bielecki, come as part of what Peter Foreman was putting together. And Peter, part of the success rate today really is you in the chamber, about making sure that we were able to bring the attention of this administration. But we had the governor make a personal commitment that he would help us for this project. We're pleased today to talk about the nearly $6 million that we're receiving in a very competitive atmosphere to be able to make these improvements to Route 139. Paul Halkiotis is here. Paul, you're going to give a brief synopsis of that when the governor comes. And by the way, I'm the bad guy today. I'm going to keep everybody to about 2 minutes when the governor's here. If you see me giving this kind of sign, that means that we're going a little bit over, but so that everybody gets to be heard. But that one infrastructure investment is projected by the South Shore Chamber, working with Billy Last and others, to bring some 900 jobs, or Billy, you said might be more. Might be more, right? To Enterprise Drive once we have build-up. So that's one project. Now we are here already. We have the Mass Highway Administrator Peter Wonsky is here, who is coming with the governor. For the administrator, I just wanted to let you know, because the governor already knows this part, so he doesn't need to hear this part from me. Part of our purpose today is to light a fire under all of our good folks who are working at DOT and Mass Highway, that before we can break ground on this project for Route 139, through your great work, we had a meeting with staff. There are 3 different divisions. One division needs to do work that's going to give notice to people on either side of Route 139 that we have a taking of 3 feet. In order for that to happen, each of the landowners have to be given notice. There's a recording project that gets done, or a part of this gets done down, because we're actually taking property, we have to record that, and we have to compensate those folks. We were told that was going to be starting around October. We're here in October, so that's number 1 on our ask list. Number 2 is we have an environmental division. You'd be surprised, Billy Last, to know that there are turtles out in this area that once again are giving us a little bit of difficulty. So the environmental division already notified us, Madam Administrator, that they're going to be working through that. That needs to be addressed also before we can get around. The third part is something that Paul Halkiotis and I have already started working on, Administrator, that we need your help, is we're going to have, there is a utilities division that works with utilities in moving all the poles. This takes months just to work with the private business to make sure they get identified. We already did a walking tour last September, identifying through the good work of Charlie Swanson here from Marshfield DPW, making sure, Charlie, that with your leading efforts with David Carrier, that we have notified and we have the plans to make sure that those get moved. So those are the 3 asks. The governor already knows that part. So for us, when the governor does come, I'm going to do a very brief introduction for him, and then I'll be helping to facilitate each of the people in the room who have important things to discuss to show why we're unique, why we'll need to have hand-in-hand work with the state to try to make sure we continue to move through this economic difficult times. So that's to give you the briefing. You all have the agenda. So we've already talked to everyone who's speaking today, so everyone knows 2 minutes will be the goal, 3 minutes at the most. At this time, it is my sincere honor to be introducing Peter Foreman, who runs our South Shore Chamber of Commerce. Peter is going to be able to give us kind of the global or the regional perspective of what's going on with economic development. The governor is going to be, I'll be introducing him in about 5 minutes. But Peter, you have the floor, and thank you so very much for your work, your leadership.